Okay, Eamon, thanks again for having us this week after a jam-packed week. So first of all, after the disappointment of Ireland's campaign, do you think Trapp should go now? And if he stays on, who are the candidates to take over when he does eventually step down?
Well, we've just given Trapattoni a 2-year contract for qualifying for the Euro finals. So it's difficult to sack him when you've just given him a contract. That's not the way to do business. I think it's going to be very difficult, though. He's only got one match in August, a friendly against Bosnia, to really bring new players into the team before we go on the campaign trail in September. And our first match is away in Kazakhstan, and after that we play Germany at home. So time is very short. He hasn't done the preparatory work over the last 18 months that he should have done. So he has a real problem. And I don't think the public are going to be very happy. They're not happy clearly with his management of the team for the championships and indeed before, even though he got there. So it's very difficult to foresee what's going to happen over the next few months. I think it's going to be extremely difficult for him. I think the public will be increasingly impatient with him. However, I don't think he'll walk away from the job. He's paid a huge salary. And it would cost a lot of money to pay him off and get a new coach. There's no real obvious contender right now. If I had I don't think we should sack him, because you have to honour contracts as a principle. If I woke up in the morning and found out that Harry Redknapp was the manager, I'd be very happy. He's out of work now. He likes to play kind of football I think we should be playing, and he's very experienced, and he's worked with average players. Some of our players could come into that category. So Harry Redknapp is an alternative right now. Looking further down the road, there's an Irishman doing really well at Reading, Brian McDermott, who's got them promotion to the Premier League with very little resources. Again, somebody who can work with ordinary players, and he'd be one name. But there aren't many obvious candidates, and I think you'd have to do some thinking outside the box on that score. But I don't think it's going to become an issue for a while. But I think it will become an issue, because we have a 7-hour trip to Kazakhstan to play our first match. And I don't know how many of our players are going to be up for that. Will the senior players retire? We have to wait and see what happens. But if we were to send in an experienced team there, and some calamity happened and we were to lose that match, and it would be regarded as a calamity, then we'd have a problem. Yeah, it's not difficult to see the problems that are coming down the road. It's difficult to know who would be available to manage the team if something were to happen, and the fans become extremely disenchanted. The big problem also will be, I think, filling the Aviva Stadium if the team starts to go into rapid decline for the matches. So the FA have a number of problems as a result of what really was a dismal experience at the Euros. And predicting who the man will be to clean up the mess is difficult.
Okay. And who stood out for you player-wise?
I thought Kevin Doyle did really well. And Keith Andrews, I thought, did really well. He gave it everything. He was sent off at the end through frustration. But I think the wrong team was picked, wrong substitutions were made, silly mistakes, gave easy goals away. Shay Given, I don't think Shay Given was fit. I think he was 100% fit, and you need to be for a championship. I don't think John O'Shea was 100% fit, and you need to be for a championship. I think the coach made a lot of serious mistakes in the fitness department. It's his responsibility at the end of the day. And substitutions and team selection, almost everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and also we were very unfortunate in the way we gave the goals away. But my experience of football and life is, if you don't do your stuff properly, then you tend not to get the breaks. If you're doing your stuff right, the breaks go with you. Yeah, so you've got to be serious to be lucky, and I think he didn't approach it very well, and it was a big letdown. The upside was, I thought the Irish supporters were magnificent. I thought Roy Keane's criticism of them was ridiculous, and unpleasant, really. They're great people. They did the country proud. And all over Europe, they're talking about the Irish fans taking the blows, you know, with a smile and a song, and that's a good thing.
Okay.
A very good thing, actually.
And moving on to the quarterfinals of the Euros then, how do you see the 4 games going, and who do you think will win overall now?
Well, I'll go through each of the quarterfinals first. They're all fascinating in their own way. The first match, Portugal and the Czech Republic, is interesting because Ronaldo was on fire in the victory over Holland. He's really come into the tournament in a big way now. He looks very committed to his team. And Portugal are a tough team. If you look throughout the side, midfield and defensively, they're tough enough. They had a hard start against Germany. They lost 1-0. No disgrace in that. And they've come back well into the tournament. I think they will beat the Czech Republic in what will be a tough game. I think Ronaldo may shine. And I would suggest as a bet Ronaldo to score first tonight. Not only is he likely to score from open play, I think he can score from his free kicks, and also he's their designated penalty taker. So I think that's a great bet. It's 4-1 and a very, very good bet. I think Portugal will progress from that game. Then on Friday night we have a really fascinating match between Greece, the bailout country, and Germany, the country that's given all the money, or they say so, are pretending to give the money to save their banks. Now that's going to have a lot of emotion attached to it. I think the Greeks will have, they've had one player already out of the tournament through injury, maybe a couple of suspensions, but they are a very, very committed, tough professional team. They've been on the brink of being buried a few times in this tournament, and they've always come back. They were losing 1-0 to Poland in the opening match of the tournament, got a man sent off, came back with 10 men, and were unlucky not to win the match if they'd scored a penalty. But they're good, solid, strong pros, and I think Germany will find it difficult to beat them. It'll be a real test. Germany are the favourites, rightly so, and will probably prevail. But I think that's going to be a fascinating match, even if you're not interested in soccer, just to see two countries at the opposite end of the economic spectrum and fight it out. Could be hot and heavy, that match. And
then finally, to finish, what would be your best bet then?
Well,
for a winner,
in the Germany Greece match, I'd say Gomez to score the first goal, again around 4-1, and Germany to win 2-0, which is 7-1. I think that's a very, very good bet. In the Saturday match between France and Spain, I think that's another fascinating match. Spain will be favourites, and France haven't been terribly impressive. I think Spain will win that match, and I think they may win it 1-0. Okay. So that would be my bet in that match. And the last match is a really fascinating match between Italy and England. I think that will be very close. I think it might go to extra time and penalties. So the draw is the bet. And if I was having, there's a really good bet, Italy to win on penalties. Okay. Would be about 10-1. I think Italy will win. I don't fancy England, but you never know with the Italians which way they're going to go. But I think they'll be too good for England. So I think the semi-finals will be Italy, Spain, Germany, Portugal. Spain will play Portugal. Italy will play Germany. I think the outright winner on reputation and form, if they're up for it, Spain must be favourites. But I have a feeling there's a shock in this tournament. And I think the shock may be Italy to beat West Germany in the semi-final. And it could be Spain-Italy in the final. But the favourite final will West Germany-Spain. Taking everything into account, I think Spain are a good bet. They're about 5-2, 11-4. I still think they have the best players, and I think they're a good bet.
Brilliant. Thanks again.
My pleasure.